Alright, today on Heavy Metal Frequency, I'm reviewing Opeth, Deliverance. This was probably their most straightforward album. This was the first Opeth album I ever got, and this is my second time getting it. It's kind of a nostalgic thing for me. And Wreath is an excellent opener. This is as close to, Deliverance is as close to Opeth came to a straightforward death metal album. They did Stockholm death metal. And at one point, they were originally basically a progressive black metal band on Candlelight Records in their early years. And then they switched to doing kind of like prog death metal and black metal combined, like a combination of progressive rock, psychedelic rock, death metal, and some black metal. And that's an oversimplification. There's other stuff like jazz fusion and things like that. But anyway, so this is the first half of a double album they did called Deliverance and Damnation. Deliverance is some of their heaviest stuff, and Damnation is some of their lightest stuff. I'm only going to be touching on Deliverance for a while, and so this is very much along the lines of Stockholm death metal, but it's more dynamic than that. There are some of the Stockholm death metal bands were more dynamic. Wreath is an excellent opener. Martin Lopez's drumming is fantastic on this. You can listen to this many, many times. There's a lot of replay value. You could listen just to Michael Ockerfeld's guitar playing because it's fantastic. You can listen to Martin Lopez's drumming because it's some of the best drumming. These are some of the best drum lines I've ever heard. They're fantastic. And so there's a lot here, and it's a little bit less proggy than some of the other Opeth albums. You won't have to spend quite as much time with this to really understand it, but still you should spend some time with it. Wreath is an excellent opener, excellent drum fill opening it. It's like a prog death metal track, some psychedelic rock, some nice guitar solos. Michael Ockerfeld has a huge vocal range that he's known for. It's mostly death metal, a little bit of black metal-ish vocals, some cleans that are nice. Deliverance has another really great opening. They use a lot of, I think they're diminished minors, this really nice diminished minor part in the opening that's really, really cool. And it has this really nice like psychedelic jam near the end of the track. It's really, really cool. A Fair Judgment has like a bluesy Aldi Meola type, Carlos Santana type thing, maybe some Stevie Ray Vaughan, but it reminds me more specifically of Aldi Meola. The guitar solos on here are some of my favorite ever. There's some doom metal on here. It's really, really cool. For Absent Friends is another kind of jazz fusion-y type thing. Master's Apprentice, I think, was the first Opeth song I ever heard ever, and I love the drum line on here. It's one of the heaviest or darkest, whatever songs you want to say, that they've ever done. It's one of their most straightforward. I would say Master's Apprentice is their most straightforward. It's really, really cool. By the Pain I See in Others is really, really nice. It's got a lot of different stuff on here. Some of the influences I could tell on here. I would say Porcupine Tree, because Michael Ockerfeld's crazy about Porcupine Tree. Also, the Beatles. Yes, seriously. And so there's a lot of, and some like old school Norwegian, probably some old school Norwegian black metal, like old school death metal, like early death metal. And so, but this is a really, really, really great album. Spend a lot of time with it, and partly because of the proggy elements, and it's very complex, even if it is slightly more straightforward than some of their other stuff, but also because it's just that well written. Some of the death metal grooves are really, really nice. They're really catchy, and it's really, really cool. Very creative, excellent, like prog death metal album, and I would highly recommend this. And please pick up a copy, and maybe pick up a copy of Deliverance and Damnation at the same time, because it's kind of dynamic. Thank you.